Welcome to At a Glance, the series where I record this game like 3 times over, realize the audio is fucked on all of them, and then proceed to record it a 4th time, hoping this will be the one. So, in the city, in the server that we have, we notoriously are bad at theme park. And it's not like Emerald or Nighthaven, where it's a new map so no one knows it, even though we do know them because we don't fucking ban them, because we actually learn the new content. We just suck at theme park like it hasn't come to us, so we hit up Mari, who is in the server, currently the highest ranked, plays tournaments for fun, etc., etc. And we were like, hey, can you teach us theme park? Because theme park is our worst map. So Mari gave us a 2-hour class on theme park. And this was the first game we played since that class. And you can see it's very different from how we usually play. First of all, because I'm playing Mira. I haven't played Mira in a hot minute. But also because we were applying a lot of what Mari had in her strat book that she wanted us to try and use. We didn't 100% copy them. Like, there were some that used, like, Castle and Jaeger, etc., etc. And we didn't use all of them, but we did implement the general rough idea of these setups. So that's why I'm starting with the overhead before we get to, like, the actual match. So you can see over here in office, I'm reinforcing this wall in cash. And I'm going to put my Mira there. The point of this is to make cash a nightmare to fucking push. Making the head holes so that I can nitro. And then you can see over here, I hit the wrong arrow. I'm making footholes. So now, they're going to have a rough time with the Mira in front of them. There are footholes, so anyone playing Red Hall will see someone coming cash. And I make the head holes so that anyone who is playing... Let me see if I can get this angle right. So whoever's playing on this Mira can still see into the Red Hall double door. So anyone pushing that side is so beyond fucked. Which is then going to try to force them to push into cash. Which then has a very similar setup. It has the Mira window, so cash is going to be hard to push. It's going to have the head hole in a second, once I set it up. It's got the head hole there, so anyone who does try to play cash is fucked. Anyone who tries to push security is also fucked. So, yeah, the rough gist of this setup is to make the east side... Let me go back to the overhead. The gist of this setup is to make the east side a living nightmare to push, and force them to play the west side, which is where our roamers are going to be making it a nightmare for them to push on that side. So, let's see how it goes. I will say, there were a lot of times I could have been on cams. I'm reinforcing this so I don't get, shot in the back if they push west and kill our roamers. I was still getting used to the general gist of this setup. Like, there are a lot of times I could have been on cams, and I probably should have. This is one of those times I should have been on cams. But I was still getting used to the general feel of how to play this strat. We do point out there's a drone in Cafe, so we do know they're going to push from Cafe side. The hatch and security goes down, so I do know that they are going to try and push security. I've got Proxy in there, I've got an Echo drone in there that I didn't even notice the first time. Iana droned me, so I'm pretty sure they're going to try and do something with security here. Our roamers are still playing the west side, looking for the people that are probably going to push bake. And we're just sort of... I should be on cams. I really should be on cams. But I'm still getting used to this general setup. Iana tries to frag me, but I'm not near the window, so it doesn't do anything. Echo is droning the room, trying to see what they're doing. We get our first pick on the buck, which is massive. So that west side push is already kind of struggling. I'm still watching cash and kind of... My head's basically on a swivel. I'm watching security, and then I turn and I'm watching bunks. I do get the call that there's someone in daycare, so I'm like blind firing through the wall. I'm just kind of holding this one angle, hoping it'll hit someone on the way in. So Azami in a second. I'm going to slow it down. Azami is going to prep an impact and make the hole to take the fight in bunks. And I'm going to blind fire and accidentally get the ash. I know that looks sus as fuck, but it was legitimately just a blind fire on my part. So it's 2-4 now. I'm trying to just kind of keep my head on a swivel. I should be on cams. I should be on cams. The Iana goes down. Last one's rafters. And Azami just cleans up. So my big takeaway from how I played there. I should be on cams because there wasn't like any pressure on me. I think Echo was on cams, but that's still not enough. I'm anchoring. My responsibility is to be on cams if there's no action on me to help the roamers over here, but it is what it is. We still won it. Round 2, I'm doing the same thing. I'm going Mira, and I'm going to do a pretty similar setup where I'm going to put the mirror window here so that anyone pushing the office has a rough time. And I'll go ahead and speed it up. Putting my mirror on the window. I get my rook sweater because I forgot we had a rook until after I started doing that. I put the mirror window here in initiation, and it's going to be the same general principle. I have a mirror window here, which makes this side a nightmare to push. I have a mirror window here in office, which does not make it a nightmare to push yet. There's still one thing I need to do. I make my head holes, or my top holes. I'm going to make head holes in here so that from my mirror over here, I can see into cache, and the same general principle applies. I can see into cache. I can see the red double door from here if I weren't going too fast on the free cam. So this mirror here is going to be watching this side, and the mirror over here is going to be watching cache side, which is where they happen to be pushing now. Or security side. I keep mixing up cache and security. Their win condition here is to take Whitehall. So I'm going to try to make sure they cannot get Whitehall from this side. Like, my responsibility is the mirrors to be watching this side. Iana and Maverick are pushing security. I'm just kind of keeping my head on a swivel watching Whitehall, because I'm nervous about Whitehall. Or Maverick gets injured from the Nitro. And I know the Maverick's there because of the call, so I'm just going to kind of pressure him. I'm going to throw my Nitro, and it's going to miss because he's not near the door. If he was near the door, he would have been fucked. We do lose our cafe guy, so now I know they're going to start taking Whitehall. And that was effectively what loses us this round. Because once they take out the bake guy, they've got all of bake, or cafe, whatever the fuck you call it, same thing. They've got the catwalk here, which gives them a really strong sight into Whitehall. And now they are starting to make this push into Whitehall, which means I'm basically not going to be able to play this Mira. And if they start pushing me, I'm kind of fucked. So the Iana's droning, trying to roam clear on the east side. I'm trying to put pressure on the Whitehall, but I will get overwhelmed here. The Iana's taking shots, and the Buck does clear me out. So now it's a 3v4 right now. The Buck's gonna push into bunks, take care of the Azami, and now it's down to our 2 players who are around rafters. Tachanka's in kitchen and loses the duel, so now it's down to our last roamer, who is going underneath for the flank, while the entire enemy team is roam clearing that second floor. And once they're sure that they've got full second floor, they're probably going to go for a plant. So Bandit's going to come up the stairs, and Buck's just going to win the duel. And yeah, we lost Whitehall control. We put a little too much focus on the rafters instead of on the Whitehall once we lost control of Cafe. Because losing Cafe, we lose this catwalk, we lose Whitehall, basically. But if we lose Rafters, they still have to actually fight, like, into Whitehall. Because pushing from Rafters into sight is going to be a little harder than getting Whitehall and cutting us off. So yeah, losing Whitehall lost us that one. It is what it is. We'll play it better next time. But generally, the principle was there. We did our best. So, Armory Throne. Very first thing Mari drilled into us, no matter what setup you're doing, reinforce and electrify this wall. Because if you lose this wall, it is a nightmare to play sight. Put a COD stick on the ground. I put it far away as far as I can, so Callie can't, Callie it if they have a Callie. I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm nervous that this one can't hit the wall, but this one does do the job. So maintenance, armory are taken care of. And if I remember right, someone on the team said, yeah, I think our Echo was going to impact trick the barrel wall. So if they push barrel side, then we're going to impact trick it. I should not be roaming up here as Kaed, but I do end up roaming. I'm going to seal off this door so I don't get pushed from initiation if they do some weird west top-down take. I'm just sort of watching the window from up in security. My job is just to see if they're coming security and put some pressure on them. But my job is not to die. That's the important thing. Maverick gets EDD'd, so we know someone's in the building. We don't know it's Maverick, but we know someone's in. I'm just kind of watching the window. They get the hatch. I get some damage. My job is to leave. I don't take that duel. My job is not to die in there. And I'm not about to lose this over getting cocky. So, if they broke that hatch, they're probably going to push security. So I'm making these head holes in cash so that I can pressure the security door or force them to go through initiation. They have a Monty, and I ping that the Monty's there. The Echo moves drone and starts counting down so that he can blast, and I can get some shots on the Monty. I don't finish him, but I get some damage on him. I'm just kind of here to pressure. And the Sledge does get me, which is unfortunate, but it happens. So Sledge gets cash control. Mai's going to come in for that refrag. Sledge doesn't know it's coming. They think we're playing over in West Side. Well, Mai gets the pick on Sledge. So now that's traded out. So now Wamai is going to be sort of holding this red head hole. Rotates back around. Sees that Monty is pushing out initiation. So now Wamai and Capcan are going to hold this door. Hibana's down. It's just Monty. Capcan's shooting through the soft wall just to see if anything could happen. Wamai's holding office. And Echo is playing his drones, as you should be doing as Echo. Playing them actually as drones. Loses one, but that's unfortunate. Capcan and Wamai are still up here, dealing with the Monty. The Monty is injured, and Hibana did get rezzed. It looks like Monty is cleared office, pushing up on Wamai. Monty doesn't realize Capcan's got the crossfire, so Monty just walked into his death. We've got Diffuser up here, on the right. Wamai's gonna hold it. Capcan's up here. Wamai goes down, and with that info, we get the kill on Hibana, so the last one is Thatcher. Thatcher's gonna push into sight. Echo whiffs with the shoddy, but Thatcher does not have Diffuse, which is how we win this one. There are 15 seconds left. Capcan just has to hold, and we still have Diffuse right here. So Capcan's gonna hide with a head hole there as a distraction. Thatcher's gonna just start coming up the stairs. And with 3 seconds left and no Diffuse, nah, that's the round. That is the round. Thatcher pushing sight alone, even if he cleared sight, didn't have Diffuse. So we won this because they did not have Diffuse. That's pretty much the gist of it. Now we're on 4th round. And so far we are doing pretty well on defense. Attack's gonna be the hard one because attacking generally you have to be more aggressive. You have to actually capitalize on things. Defense can just sit back and do their thing. First thing I'm going to do, see if they're playing Office Initiation, because it's the most common first sight. They are. I get the ping. I see that they're reinforcing Catwalk, so that's one less angle to worry about in Cafe, so we are going to go for something of a Cafe take. I'm putting my drone in here because we want to take Cafe. Putting it high up. Making sure it's in a weird spot. Unfortunately for me, their Thorn is going to be playing in Cafe. View her coming in left. There she is. She does see the drone, which is unfortunate. But we do know Thorn's playing in Cafe. So that's our biggest threat right off rip. Checking for the common peaks to make sure there are no common peaks, because Theme Park is pretty peak heavy, all things considered. So we know the Thorn's in Cafe. I'm going to throw a drone up so that our entry, in this case the Blitz, knows what to expect. I see Thorn's foot, and I tell Blitz that Thorn is there. I wait for Blitz to be at the door. I start pinging and communicating that she's close left. Blitz is putting pressure on the door. Thorn knows the pressure is coming. She takes some damage from Blitz, but does not get downed. She gives us Cafe. She played Cafe right, she put pressure on us, but didn't die for it. Legion goes down somewhere on the map, which is a huge pick for us. I'm being careful in making sure that Thorn is not still lingering. I am the hard breach. My job is not to die. My job is to open walls. Blitz's job is to be the one to put his body in the way. So if either of us die, Blitz is the more preferable option. Once I'm sure that I'm safe, I'm going to put a thermite charge on the catwalk wall. and I'm going to open it. So now anyone who is on site has to worry about us coming from vault, which is an extra angle for them to be worried about. I'm going to smoke, just so I don't have pressure on me. Someone pings that someone is playing underneath me, which could be dangerous if we play catwalk. So I'm going to wait for someone to be under the stairs and draw attention. And then I'm going to drop and take the duel. So that's 2 of them off the board compared to 5 of us still here. I'm going to open this wall here. I'm going to call the team, call to the team that I want to do a smoke plant. I've got Sledge with me, Blitz is on the other side, I've got Grid with me. I really only need Grid, but having Sledge is also huge for the angle, or for the extra gun. I'm going to carefully make sure no one's there. I'm going to call that I'm smoking, and I'm going to smoke right behind the desk. Because they really have no one on site. They have no rotate, apparently. I've got Sledge watching, I've got Grid watching. So I go for the smoke, I run the fuck out. Warden was shooting me, so I know he was back there, and he does get taken out. Last one is Ella, who's pushing into sight now. I'm going to go the other side to help. I've got a Legion in me, and round's over. They really didn't play any sight presence there, except maybe the Warden on a soft roam. But they really, once we got control of Cafe and Whitehall, it all fell apart from there, because there was no breach denial. There was no one on site to stop us. Like, they really just gave us that. So now we're going into final round. It is 3-1, which is, I think, the best we've ever been on Theme Park. I'm going to go ahead and drone. And I'm going to do my favorite drone spot. You'll see why in a second. Climb up the thing, get on the ledge. Get on the AC unit thing. The thing I love about this angle is sometimes you will get lucky and the defender won't be paying attention, and they will shoot the default cam instead. It's not a great cam, but it's a funny cam. And it does see rafters, so that's something. Go ahead and just speed it up. We can generally see what they're doing. They're setting up real differently now. Now they're setting up for the site presence, because now they know that we will play the objective. There is a call that someone is crouched by one of the front windows. Blitz is going to deal with that, but they do run before Blitz can deal with it. I got the cam over there. I'm going to go for a security push, while the rest of the team is doing a cash push. I ask for Grid to help me with the hatch. Hatch is down. I'm going to do a quick peek into the room just to make sure that the immediate area is safe. I'm going to cook a frag just in case someone is right by this door. Finds nothing, but it does find a cam, I think. Warden is right under me and someone pings it. And Warden's immediately down for going for a bad peek and getting droned out. I actually forget who droned out Warden. I'm going to drone the hatch. I see bandits there. I want to capitalize on it, but I'm not immediately going to. I'm going to drone normally. I'm going to get it out of the way. My red hull is clear while bandits focused on the drone. I'm going to pre-fire the drop. Because if you just drop without pre-firing, and they're already expecting you, they win the duel. But if you're pre-firing, you might get lucky and kill them on the way down. So I'm going to keep firing up until I'm behind this desk, because the constant gunfire means that they're going to be really nervous to actually peek it. So they're not going to know exactly where I am, just that I'm in. Cooking another frag. I'm going to bounce it off the doorway. Doesn't do anything. Bandit, unfortunately, crosses right after that. Now, I'm going to hold this angle, because I have a pretty strong cutoff now. It's just Solace, Maestro, Vigil now. I'm going to drone. Vigil's going to impact my clone, which is unfortunate. So he knows I'm in here. He's going to push it. He doesn't know I'm against the wall already. So now, it is a 4v1, because Maestro got taken down on the other side. We have Diffuser coming towards office, and I have control of initiation. The way we are set up at the moment, I want you all to look at this. The way we are set up, we have people in office with the Diffuser. There are 2 bodies in office, because if we lose Diffuser, we lose the round. So we want more bodies where Diffuser's going to be. I'm playing an initiation, so if I die here, then we know that Solace is coming from this south side. And if she's going to commit to it, she's going to come from this south side with only one door. Or if she rotates all the way to the cash side, she loses a lot of time by the time Diffuse is down. And if Blitz dies, we know she's coming Whitehall, because that's really the only rotate they have. She can only come double door if she's coming Whitehall if Blitz dies here. So, we're going to start traxing off, you know, this room here. And we're going to plant an office. Solace is coming up behind me. I'm not even going to peek her, I'm just holding my angle. She impacts me, which I thought came from below before, so she gave away her position with that. She's going to put some pressure into cash. She impacts the tracks that are at the cash door, and because she impacted, we knew that she was coming in. So she gave away her position with both of those impacts she didn't need to do. So yeah, that's a 4-1 theme park game. Next time y'all see Mari in the city, tell her thanks for being smart at the game, because we could not have done this without Mari's class. And yeah, peace.